I've played Dota for over a decade now, and I feel like I know a lot of what there is to know about it. But sometimes I wonder what watching a game of Dota looks like from a layman's perspective, from someone who has never even played a video game. Because if you get someone fresh out of the womb to watch a game of football, it's relatively clear what's going on at all times. But this? No chance. So in this what I hesitantly call a lecture, I'm going to explain how Dota works and why. I want to try and keep it as short as possible, so let's get into it. Dota stands for Defense of the Ancients, so your first objective is to defend your ancient, which is this thing. Actually, I lied to you. Your first objective is to kill the enemy's ancient, which is on the opposite side of the battleground, which we call the map. So how do you do that? Well, first, you need to pick a character. Here's 126 of them. Make sure you choose correctly. Actually, I'm just going to pick for you. This here is Skywrath Mage, and he's going to be the hero that you control. So now we're in the game, and you realise that you can move by pressing right-click. Off he goes to where you clicked. Not only that, but we can click on enemy things to do attacks on them. Try clicking on the enemy ancient and it'll say target invulnerable. So how do you make it vulnerable? Well, there's two more buildings in front of it, and they are called towers. Try clicking on those, and they'll also say target invulnerable. So, what you actually have to do to destroy an ancient is to first destroy these two towers, which requires destroying this tower, which requires destroying this tower, which requires destroying this tower. Simple. You'll notice it has a bar showing its health too. Try destroying that one by reducing its health to 0. Well, you died. No worries, you come back alive after a few seconds in your base. The area which you respawn in is called your fountain. Not important, but I'd figure I'd mention it anyway. So you go back down the path to the tower, also known as a lane, and what's this? It's another hero that appeared in your cone of vision. But this time it's an enemy. He's in the way of destroying the tower, so kill him, quick! Yes! Okay, this is going to take a while. How do we speed things up? Well, let's try using one of our spells that we haven't used yet. We need to put a skill point into one of them, so we might as well choose the first one. It says it does damage, so kill him, quick! Okay, this isn't much better. Is there another route we can take to increase our damage output? Yes, actually. You notice how you have some gold in the bottom right of the screen? Well, you can spend that on items. Let's open the shop and see what you can get. Fuck me. Okay, so, if we read the description of your first spell, Arcane Bolt, you'll notice that it says it does damage based off of Skywrath Mage's intelligence. So get some items that increase your intelligence with the gold that you have. They get put into these little rectangles here, known as your inventory. That'll do nicely. But what's this? It looks like your damage number has also gone up with your normal attacks, or what we colloquially call right-clicks. Skywrath Mage is designated as an intelligence hero, which means any point of intelligence he gets also increases the amount of damage his right-clicks do. You'll also notice he gets points of intelligence every time he levels up. So how do you level up? You need to acquire some experience. To get that, we can kill enemy heroes, but you can also get experience by being around any other enemies when they die. So what other enemies are there? These little creatures are called creeps, and a wave of them runs down the lanes every 30 seconds. They attack any enemies in their way, including other creeps, towers, and heroes. They're a lot easier to kill than heroes, so let's get a bunch of those. But wait, not so fast. You've just noticed that when you get the killing blow on one of them, you got gold as well as experience. So now you focus on getting the last hit, specifically, on these creeps, to get all the things you need to make you more powerful. Your allied creeps also help you destroy the tower, which is helpful. Now you have all 4 of your abilities. The first, Arcane Bolt, just does damage when it hits someone. The second, Concussive Shot, also does damage, but also slows the movement of the person it hits. The third, Ancient Seal, silences the target, while increasing the amount of magic damage they take. When someone is silenced, it means they can't cast spells. Finally, your ultimate. It deals massive damage in a small area of effect. Let's use them all on the enemy in our way.
First blood.
Easy. Although you can't seem to do it again until each spell's timer comes back. This is known as their cooldown. Also, your ultimate requires a lot of mana, which is measured with the blue bar at the bottom of the screen. It recharges slowly, but maybe if you get some items, it'll recharge quicker. Indeed, there is an item that'll help you here. It's a Tiara of Celemene, and when you try to buy it, it tells you that the secret shop is not in range. Your minimap shows you the location of both secret shops, but going there would require losing out on experience and gold from getting last hits. So we're going to send your little friend, the courier, to buy it and deliver it to you. But hang on. In the shop, the Tiara of Celemene is showing other items connected to it. What does that mean? Click on one, and you'll see that the tiara is actually one part of another item, the Scythe of Vice. This scythe can turn the enemy into a harmless critter for a few seconds, as well as providing intelligence and mana regeneration, so it seems like the perfect item for us. Once we've got enough gold, we'll buy all of the pieces necessary to make it. Excellent. Now, let's use the item's active ability to turn our enemy into a critter. What happened? Let's check his inventory by left-clicking on him. It turns out he's got a Lincoln Sphere, which blocks one spell or item ability that is cast on him. It does this only once every 14 seconds though, which means once our Scythe of Vice is cooled down, we can make the Lincoln Sphere block a less valuable spell. Then we use our scythe to ensure he is successfully transformed into the critter. So now it's a back and forth. You keep getting stronger, but so do your enemies. You keep taking towers, but the enemy takes yours too. Your spells stop the enemy's spells, but theirs kill you. And each possible interaction is multiplied by 5, because there's not just one enemy hero, there's 5 enemies, and there's 4 allies you have to worry about, and everyone has at least 4 spells with different interactions, and they're going to have up to 11 items in their inventory at any given time, and each of those is going to interact with spells differently, and then there's neutral creeps in this motherfucker. And that's the basics of Dota. It's comprised of piling relatively simple mechanics on top of each other, where each one interacts with every other, where each player has to think multiple steps ahead of their current situation, each step getting progressively more complex than the last. It is the combining of your team's prediction, planning, and execution that makes each game of Dota so satisfying to play and replay. And I hope you enjoyed learning a bit about it.